tell y'all the truth about Canelo. Easy, man. Cakewalk. Easy. Y'all sitting up here, y'all praising this dude was nothing.
No, bro, I know Crawford, and he's different. And see, the only thing different here is Canelo is not a bigger guy at that weight. He's not like he's standing 6'1", 6'2" like before.
Terence Crawford, been amazing.
Floyd Mayweather didn't hold back when asked about the upcoming Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford showdown. After personally working with Crawford in the gym, Floyd sent a direct warning to Canelo: he's easy work. Mayweather reminded fans he beat Canelo at nearly 40 years old and criticized the media's constant glorification of Alvarez while downplaying elite American fighters. According to Floyd, Canelo's image as an unstoppable force is pure hype, and Crawford has the tools to dismantle that myth.
You can take a guy like Canelo, this guy can do, he can pick and choose who he want to fight. And I'm gonna tell y'all the truth about Canelo. Easy, man. Cakewalk. Easy. Y'all sitting up here, y'all praising this dude was nothing. I was almost 40 years old when I cooked this dude. Easy. Y'all always disrespecting our fighters.
Live, only on DAZN, June 28th. Jake Paul versus Chavez Jr. Buy now at DAZN.
Jeff Mayweather calls Terence Crawford a generational phenomenon, a rare breed who dominates across multiple weight divisions with surgical precision. While most fighters struggle to carry power and IQ up the ranks, Jeff believes Crawford actually improves. In his view, facing someone like Canelo Alvarez isn't just a massive challenge, it's a perfect test for Crawford's completeness. Jeff sees Canelo as strong and experienced, but Crawford? He's technically cleaner, mentally sharper, and more dangerous in every way.
All right, Jeff, looks like we got a fight coming up in the fall here between Terence Crawford and Canelo. A fight that's been talked about a long time. Initial thoughts on the potential of this fight?
Great fight, two great fighters. I think that moving up 2 weight classes, it's kind of tough, but if anybody can do it, I think it would be Terence Crawford. I mean, skill-wise, I give him, I think he's a better fighter than Canelo, but Canelo is also a great fighter but he owns that weight class that he's in. So I would just say that I think that Crawford has to fight almost a perfect fight to win, and take advantage of Canelo's mistake.
For Shannon Briggs, watching Terence Crawford train for this mega fight hits different. Having observed Crawford's journey since childhood, Briggs spoke emotionally about how far he's come. "I believe he stops Canelo," Briggs said with conviction. To him, this isn't just another fight, it's a defining moment. A moment where focus, history, and hunger intersect. Crawford isn't chasing fame, he's chasing greatness, and Briggs believes Canelo won't survive the storm he's bringing.
Like all the pushing, the shoving, the build-up, the anticipation, the weight differences too.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a great fight. I got Crawford by stoppage, and I've known him since he was a little kid, 12 years old. So to see him now fighting for a title in such a big fight, it's a great experience, great to see.
Last question for me then, how do you think Crawford stops him? How do you think he's able to work Canelo enough for him to stop the fight, drop, knock him down? How do you think this is possible by Crawford style?
He gonna box him. He can fight both ways. He gonna trick him up. One thing Canelo showed is that he can be outboxed. But I think this time in the late rounds, I think Crawford gonna have something for him.
Shannon, always good to see you, my friend.
You're the best, champ. Let's go, champ.
Legendary commentator Al Bernstein took a more analytical approach. He noted that while Crawford's move to 168 seems daunting on paper, the reality is different. Canelo isn't the explosive monster he was 5 years ago. Age, wear, and cautious ring tactics have dulled some of his edge. Bernstein believes that the current version of Canelo is beatable, and Crawford's discipline and technical mastery could be the exact formula needed to expose those vulnerabilities.
Crawford to go up to, he started below 147 obviously, as a fighter, so he's going pretty far up in weight. Now, Canelo himself was a 154-pounder, so, you know, he went all the way up to 168, but there's a little difference there. And I think that that's a big issue. Now, whether that's enough to make it impossible for Crawford to win this fight, that remains to be seen. This is a different Canelo Alvarez. It's not the same one from 5 years ago, or 4 years ago, or even 3. So there's that. And then there's all the different eccentricities of each boxer. For Crawford, he's not going to hurt Canelo. But Canelo, almost nobody hurts Canelo. He's got a rock chin. But can Crawford, who isn't always a volume puncher, make sure that if he's being the boxer puncher, he throws enough punches to win every round? Right. That's important. Right. And for Canelo, if he doesn't hurt Terence Crawford, which he might, can he sustain in those later rounds where we've seen Canelo Alvarez from time to time just fade a little bit? Crawford's a very good fighter into the later rounds. You know, we saw him stop Porter, and we've seen him have other excellent performances. So, you know, there's a lot of those questions swirling around. But right now, I don't know if I could pick either guy, really. I would have said Canelo Alvarez.
Crawford is a fighter built on timing, precision, and adaptability. Whether switching stances or managing distance, he controls every inch of the ring. Against a powerhouse like Canelo, that finesse becomes deadly. He doesn't get lured into brawls, he breaks opponents down systematically, waiting for mistakes and then pouncing. If Canelo relies on power, Crawford's mental sharpness and ring IQ may leave him swinging at shadows.
His style is based around being the bigger guy, being the stronger guy, but Crawford is a very cerebral, very technical boxer, and I think that's why I'd never really considered this before. But also, I didn't actually realize until I sat down properly and thought about this, just how much weight Crawford has been piling on when he gets into the ring after the weigh-in. And look, these are not numbers that are out of the ordinary, but he's obviously cutting himself down so much in camp from whatever his walking around weight is. And it must be muscle that he's taking off. And perhaps that's why he's only fighting once a year, because there will be some fat, of course there will be, but the dude is not overweight. The dude still looks pretty ripped from what I've seen when he's not in training camp. However, there's not that many photos of him with his top off when he's not actually in training camp. So it's really hard to tell what his body composition is when he's walking around at these big weights. But the fact is, his fight night weight was 169 let's just call it 170 pounds.
Jumping from 147 to 168 pounds is no small feat, but Crawford isn't doing it recklessly. He's not just gaining weight, he's engineering his body for performance. While some debate whether it's a 2 or 3 division leap, what's undeniable is that Crawford would be the first fighter in history to become undisputed in 3 separate weight classes. His transformation isn't about size, it's about precision, stamina, and a legacy-defining purpose.
Just caught 170 pounds, which is huge, absolutely huge for a 154-pounder. Especially, it's just shocked me that he's come up from 135 and now he's still putting on that much weight. He's rehydrating that much at 154. And indeed, to bring us even closer to the modern day, the thing that was posted, and again, this is the second time we've seen this, is why I'm kind of thinking there's a bit of a theme here with Crawford posting his weight when he's not actually in full training camp. On February the 9th, 2025, he posted an Instagram story and he showed himself weighing 186 pounds on a gym scale. Now, that's so much bigger than I imagined Crawford would be. I never thought this guy would walk around at 186 pounds, which for anyone who needs the conversion is just over 84 kilograms. And now look, it's not an unthinkable weight for someone, but for someone who has fought as low as Crawford has, who is generally as lean and as in shape as Crawford is, that's a lot of weight. I've tried to find photos of Crawford from around that time, and I can't really dig anything out to show you what he was looking like at that weight. But that's pretty big. And there was a bit of a joke in the Piers Morgan interview I noticed and I clocked, where Piers asked him what he was weighing right now. He said, I weigh 155 pounds. And I just thought to myself, there's absolutely no chance. Why would he bulk up and then in the space of just over 4 months cut the best part of 31 pounds? Like, that makes no sense. So he was definitely joking about that, just like he was joking about only earning 10 million for this fight. So when he fights Canelo, he's going to be at the super middleweight limit, which is 168 pounds. So when you look at that, you sort of go, okay, that's an 18-pound weight cut, which is not bad at all. But 186 is his walking around weight. So what will his weight be that he actually cuts from to make 168?
David Benavidez stirred controversy by reigniting old steroid accusations against Canelo. He stated flat out that he suspects Canelo's physical dominance didn't happen naturally. Though the claims remain unproven, they echo a long-running debate in boxing circles. As Canelo faces slicker, lighter, more technical fighters like Crawford, questions swirl about how clean his strength advantage really is and whether it can hold up under the scrutiny of the sport's most elite technician.
He was 100% confident in himself. I don't know why he wouldn't fight me, especially since, seeing that everybody in his team is on steroids, which including him, so he never got off steroids.
You think he's on steroids?
Of course. How does five?
You saw De La Hoya
How do five people out of your camp get tested positive for steroids? Right. All those fucking dudes in that camp are doing it.
In one heated moment during their face-off, Crawford shoved Canelo, a bold act that sent a message: he's not backing down. This wasn't just theatrics, it was a psychological strike. Analysts like Showbiz the Adult say it revealed a side of Crawford fans rarely see: fierce, aggressive, and ready for war. He's not just moving up in weight. He's taking the fight to Canelo's front door, physically and mentally, before the first bell even rings.
And Canelo uses his legs, he uses his core, and then his neck itself to lift up Bivol like Bivol was a featherweight. That is a huge representation of how strong Canelo is. When you look at his workouts, you can tell why he was able to do that. All these damn neck exercises that I wouldn't dare do. Okay, that stuff looks painful. The squatting and all that stuff that he's doing is exactly why Canelo Alvarez, honestly, is a strong fighter. He tried to do it again with William Skull. William Skull shook out of it, but he is a bull. Listen, Terence Bud Crawford is strong. He is, okay? And he understands leverage and he understands those things because he wrestled. Honestly, very true. But Saul Canelo Alvarez is also extremely strong. Now, let me know how you feel in the comments below. We're in the zone, war.
Former champ Antonio Tarver believes the outcome won't come down to pounds on a scale, it'll come down to skills. He acknowledged that Canelo has looked sharp in the past, particularly when dismantling Caleb Plant. But if the slower, more methodical Canelo shows up, the one that struggled with quicker fighters, then Crawford will eat him alive. For Tarver, this fight isn't about mass, it's about movement, sharpness, and execution.
About this before, Crawford and Canelo.
Bud County.
You're a fighter who's moved up right in weight and won fights. So what is it that, what questions in your mind as the smaller fighter moving up and in the ring are you trying to ask yourself in the ring? What questions are you kind of like?
No, bro, I know Crawford, and he's different. And see, the only thing different here is Canelo is not a bigger guy at that weight. He's not like he's standing 6'1", 6'2", like Bivol or one of those guys. So on fight night, the size is not going to be the main thing, the most important thing. It's going to be skill set. And both of them coming with their skill set. But what I haven't seen lately is the opponents that Canelo is facing. Those guys aren't going to get him ready for a guy like Crawford. So Canelo is going to have to go back to that grind, turn back the hands of times too. Because if he show up like he did against Skull, he show up like he did against Berlanga, and the other guy. What's the other guy name? Munguia. Bro, those guys, he didn't have enough activity. The last time I saw Canelo that would beat, I think, this Crawford was Plant. Now that Canelo come cutting the ring, all throwing combination to the head and to the body, active, it's going to be a fight. It's going to be a hell of a fight. You know what I mean? And I still think I give Crawford a chance even then. So that's what type of talent I think Crawford is. He's definitely going to have to get used to that.
Marcus Brown scoffs at the idea that Crawford should fear Canelo's power. He spars with heavyweights, Brown revealed, highlighting Crawford's calm under fire. This isn't new territory for him. He's felt power punches from men far bigger than Canelo and remained composed. That kind of sparring isn't just experience, it's armor. Brown believes when those heavy shots start flying, Crawford won't flinch. He'll adapt, counter, and control the chaos.
Both of them, I'm a fan of both of them, but I'm going with Crawford. You know, typically fighters, you know, they don't want to say who they want to go for because, you know, they don't want to be biased. And much respect to Canelo, but I'm going Bud.
Is there a particular reason why? Like, you're a guy that's moved up in weight, so you know exactly what it feels like to get hit by these bigger guys. That's something that's going to play in the back of his head, like,
of course,
gotta watch out.
It is, but it's not. Because at the end of the day, it's not like he just been in there, got in there with somebody bigger than him. He's always probably been sparring with bigger guys, you know what I'm saying? It's that boxing IQ, which, you know, William Skull didn't put up no fight, but he showed somewhat of a blueprint to get this guy, you know, in a space where he's confused. And he can't touch the target that's in front of him. You know what I'm saying? And I just think Bud got that IQ.
Jose Benavidez Sr. didn't sugarcoat it. Crawford is a beast. Coming from a fellow fighter and trainer, those words carry real weight. Even with past tension between camps, Benavidez respects Crawford's talent and mental strength. Still, the danger is real. Canelo's knockout power has flattened some of boxing's toughest names. And the fear is, if he connects clean, it might not matter how skilled Crawford is. This is the classic collision, power versus precision.
First of all, he got to go in there and he just got to fight him. You know what I'm saying? He got to go in there. I think Crawford just got to go in there and do what he got to do. You know what I'm saying? He got to just be Crawford, you know, show his IQ, show him why he's a two-time undisputed, you know, world champion, and go in there with confidence. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. You know, it's a big weight difference, a big weight jump. You know, that could be a difference in the fight. You know, because obviously, you know, it's like me jumping up to heavyweight. Obviously, I'm a feel the power. I'm a feel that size difference. You know, compared to my other fights. So I just think that he got to go in there and just be himself. And I said, if he loses, you know, we'll just all know that, hey, you know, he just jumped up 2 weight classes to be great. You know what I'm saying? It's not. He can't really. He's testing himself. He's putting himself. Testing himself a great fighter. So, and I don't doubt him. You know, I don't got no doubt in my mind. You know, he's a 2-time undisputed world champion for a reason. So, you know, and I don't think nothing's gonna phase him in that fight. You know what I'm saying? Maybe the power, maybe the size. You know what I'm saying? And you know, Canelo, he's not knocking Canelo out. So, he just got to go in there just IQ.
Would you lean towards Canelo still in that fight?
I got faith in him. I think Crawford could do it. You know what I'm saying? I think he could do it. Just like I said, just the size. The only shit that throws the fight off is the size and, you know, obviously the power. And Canelo's IQ too, because Canelo got IQ, you know what I'm saying? And Canelo fought a much bigger guys, you know? So I know Crawford's power ain't gonna phase him. I know Crawford's size ain't gonna phase him either, you know what I'm saying? So, but for me,
one of the loudest criticisms Crawford faces is his so-called lack of elite names. Even Canelo questioned his resume. But Crawford answered directly, "You'll be the first." He hasn't ducked challenges, he's been waiting for the biggest one. This isn't just about adding another belt to his collection. This is the fight that defines his career. A battle that, if won, places him among the all-time greats and silences every doubter in one historic night.
Why people are disliking Canelo. He's a 2-time undisputed champ, and people are quick to say he doesn't want to fight people, he's ducking people. He's only fighting easy fighters. That's the reason why he keeps winning. Well, let's look at his resume. 23-0, 22-0, 43-0, 35-1, 32-5, 42-1, 19-0, 21-0, 30-0. If these people were so easy, haven't they lost prior to fighting Canelo? When Canelo asked him, "Who have you fought?" Crawford couldn't even name one person that was a great fighter. So why don't fans say that about Crawford? The truth is that when someone wins too much and they keep winning over and over again, that's when people want to see you lose. Why do you think they always bring up the Bivol fight? Do you realize that he moved up in weight to light heavyweight to fight their best champion? Canelo's fighting easy people. Well, it's different when you make it look easy. Canelo has been fighting all these people, and when he wins, he makes it look easy. And people are quick to judge and say, well, he's only fighting easy fighters. But you're not seeing him train. You don't know how many hours he's investing into his training daily. It's easy for you to say outside the ring. Do you realize before he became undisputed, every single person he had to beat had a world title? They had a title for a reason. So he was picking and choosing, I need to fight this champion and beat them all. But what are your honest thoughts? Do you truly believe Crawford has what it takes to finally dethrone Canelo? But don't forget to follow for more news and finance information.
Veteran broadcaster Jim Gray laid it out plainly, this is a legacy fight. He praised Crawford's flawless record in dominance through multiple divisions, while giving Canelo full credit as Mexico's greatest current fighter. For Gray, this isn't about favoritism. It's about witnessing greatness. 2 champions. 1 ring. Everything on the line. This is what boxing is all about.
Crawford, who do you expect to be just a little greater on September 13th?
You know, it's so hard to tell, but the bigger man, I mean, I don't want to get hit by Canelo ever. And when you've weighed so much less, I mean, I don't know what Terence will come into the ring, but you know, he's coming up in weight significantly, and, you know, that seems to me would favor Canelo. By the other token, you know, Terence Crawford, been amazing with everything that he's done, so I can't pick a winner. If I did that, I'd just run into the casino right now and bet and wouldn't even look at the fight and then just go cash my ticket, but I don't know. When you start predicting these things, you're gonna be, nobody knows. And anybody who tells you they know, they're just BSing you.
Do you consider Canelo even a little greater than Chavez, who you interviewed and covered?
I do.
Why is that?
It's harder to win now. That wraps it up for today's video. The build-up is reaching fever pitch, and the questions are louder than ever. Will Crawford shock the world? Will Canelo cement his reign once more? Hit that subscribe button, and stay tuned as the road to the fight of the year continues.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. For more exciting videos, make sure to hit the bell icon and stay updated. Subscribe to Boxing Hub now for all the latest in boxing.